Donyelle Jones, the beloved So You Think You Can Dance Season 2 finalist, has passed away. She died on Tuesday, surrounded by loved ones, after nearly a decade-long battle with breast cancer. She was only 46 years old. The news was shared on her official Instagram, where her family described her as a wife, a daughter, a sister, a friend, and a warrior who fought every single day she was here. Today, we look back at the life, light, and legacy of a dancer whose spirit never dimmed even in her darkest moments. Donyelle Denise Jones, later known professionally as Donyelle Denise Wilson, was born in the United States, and from childhood, she seemed designed for movement. Though much of her private early life wasn't widely publicized, she often spoke about growing up surrounded by music, rhythm, and creativity. Dance became her first language long before she ever stepped into a classroom or onto a stage. As a teenager, she trained in multiple styles including hip-hop, jazz, contemporary, and lyrical. Friends later recalled that even back then, she had that unmistakable spark and ability to blend raw power with a soft emotional quality that pulled viewers in. She wasn't just dancing, she was storytelling. Her teachers described her as focused, driven, and endlessly curious. And those early foundations would eventually lead her to a moment that would change her life. The stage of So You Think You Can Dance. In 2006, everything shifted. Donyelle auditioned for Season 2 of SYTY's Stand. From the minute she appeared on screen, audiences knew she was something special. Week after week, she performed with a fearlessness that made her unforgettable. She wasn't just a dancer, she was a force. Her hip-hop and jazz routines became instant fan favorites, and her vulnerability during contemporary pieces resonated deeply. She ultimately finished third place, behind Travis Wall and season winner Benji Schwimmer. But in many ways, she stood out as one of the defining dancers of that season. Her chemistry with Benji was especially memorable, and years later, he spoke about the profound emotional connection they shared as performers. In his heartfelt tribute, Benji said he had woken up from a dream the morning of her death, one where he and Donyelle were dancing again, this time in a soft, ethereal spotlight. In the dream, she was healthy, glowing, and completely free. He woke up at 8:40 a.m., only minutes after she had passed, and said the realization brought him to tears. Tears not just of sorrow, but of gratitude for the years of memories they shared. He described every memory of her as glowing, and anyone who watched them dance together knows exactly what he meant. While Siddiq introduced Donyelle to millions, her career extended far beyond the show. She taught dance, trained young performers, choreographed pieces that blended her signature styles, and became a guiding figure for aspiring dancers. Her online presence also became a place of healing, encouragement, and community. She used her voice not just to share her art, but to uplift others, especially young women struggling with self-image, illness, or creative insecurities. Even as life presented unimaginable challenges, she remained someone who inspired from the inside out. In 2016, Donyelle's life changed again, this time with the devastating diagnosis of stage 3C breast cancer. It later progressed to stage 4 metastatic cancer, and doctors warned her that the road ahead would be long and difficult. But the woman who captivated millions with her resilience on stage wasn't about to stop fighting. For nearly 10 years, she battled cancer with an astonishing level of courage. She documented her journey openly on Instagram, not for sympathy, but to encourage and strengthen others walking the same path. She celebrated every victory, no matter how small, and faced every setback with honesty and grace. Just 1 week before her passing, she shared a final video update from hospice care. In it, she sat upright in a chair, breathing through tubes, yet still radiating an inner strength that felt almost unreal. "It has come to the point where I have started to get my affairs in order," she said openly. "Most of you know that I am in hospice, and I have done everything possible to extend my time here in this dimension. At this point, I have surrendered to whatever God's will is." She spoke about her liver no longer functioning, and yet she still held on to hope. She still believed in miracles. She still cherished every moment. "I'm audacious," she said with a soft smile. "I know I've received 10 years of miracles. What else can I possibly ask for? Her words were calm, accepting, and profoundly moving. They were the words of someone who understood life, love, and purpose in a way most people never do. No publicly known final words were released after her passing, but with her last video, she had already said everything she needed to say. The reaction to her death was immediate and emotional. Friends and fans filled social media with stories of how her dancing had inspired them, how her cancer posts had given them courage, and how her resilience had shaped their own journeys. Benji Schwimmer's tribute in particular struck a deep chord. His dream of dancing with her one last time only hours before learning of her passing felt like something beyond coincidence. It was a reminder of the connection they shared, both on and off the stage. Her family's message described her as a woman whose spirit never dimmed and whose smile never faded, and everyone who knew her echoed the same thing. Even in pain, she carried joy. Donyelle Jones leaves behind a legacy defined by courage, creativity, and compassion. She shattered expectations, inspired a generation of dancers, and showed the world what it means to fight with heart. She reminded millions that strength isn't about perfection, it's about showing up, even when life gets heavy. It's about moving with purpose even when the music gets slow. And just like in Benji's dream, she leaves this world dancing. Thank you for watching this tribute to a remarkable woman whose life touched so many. If you found this remembrance meaningful, please like, subscribe, and ring the bell to support our channel.